I'm skipping this. Okay, I'm actually gonna pick actual good starters this time. It's like Bulbasaur. Yikes. But I still wanna be my kid. No, fuck. Okay. Same nickname and everything. Never picking Bulbasaur. Hey Brianna. I was feeling discouraged, but I just streamed anyway because I was so. So I was like, why suffer for boredom when I could just stream? I restarted the game from the beginning because the last starter I did was trash. I'm never picking Bulbasaur ever again. Bulbasaur is actually garbage. He's sensitive as control. Literally, Bulbasaur would die from everything. And plus, I only picked Bulbasaur because of Leech Seed, and it would help in like boss battles. But that shit did not help. The bosses just fade through the shit. And it cannot take a hit to save its life. And I don't think Torchic can take a hit, but I feel like Torchic can actually like kill people. I didn't get too far in the game, I don't think. So like I didn't really miss out on much. I just missed out, like I lost a lot of friends. And
Can't really remember that part. Anyway, there's a restaurant and had a decent meal with so-so compass. The weird part was requested a specific table.
Wait, can Munchlax be played in this? Or like you talking about Pokemon in general? Um, he should be because he's a hole in the hole in I think. Actually, no. He's a diamond pearl. You're just in a hole in music. So I don't think he's in this game. I could be wrong. He was in the ones that the previous Mystery Dungeons had like Mystery Dungeon Sky, Darkness, and all of them. They had Diamond and Pearl Pokemon. I mean Gen 4 Pokemon. What moves do torture? Finally, something good. The starters are basically Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 starters with Meowth, Eevee, Machop, Cubone added. I have no idea. Cubone, they just threw him in there. I don't even know why Meowth is even. The hell's Meowth gonna do? I'm trying to like speed past this as fast as possible because like I don't want to go through this again. Yeah, wait, was Meowth? I don't think Meowth was in speed. Me speedrunning? Oh my god. I think I would be like a master speedrun, but like I don't have the patience. Brianna, you should speedrun. There's this game called Get Over It, or Getting Over It. I feel like I will like be like have the world record in that game. Also, just like speedrunning takes a lot of time because you have to find like hella glitches and shit. Maybe one day. I don't know if the game is free. If it's free, I'll do it. If it's not free, I won't have to wait. But shouldn't it be like $5 or something? $7. See, I could be using that $7 for some food in a Corona and pandemic or something. Or for some fucking toilet paper. Oh boy, time to get angry at this game again. Thank God my mom did like hella toilet paper shopping before like this whole thing. So like we have plenty of toilet paper. She bought this like big ass case. Why use our hands? We have literally leaves to use. Like there's not trees outside we could wipe our ass with. Yeah, she definitely bought food. Even though I still want to milk. To be honest. She ain't buying any chips. The one thing that I actually want. Oh yeah, true, there ain't no trees. I mean, you could use some flower petals or something. Or like some grass. I don't know. However people in the winter in like the BC area did it. That's how we did it. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Lord of mercy. But y'all better hold it until the pandemic ends. I'm pretty sure you can hold it until the pandemic ends. Y'all don't need to poop every day. We won't die constipated. I mean, how y'all gonna wipe your asses? And I'm pretty sure like a case of toilet paper could last you more than however long we're supposed to be quarantined or something. This whole like news, like the whole news is actually kind of making me nervous. Like I used to not like think it was a big deal. Now it's like actually your roommates eat toilet paper. I would believe it. They did look like they eat toilet paper. I thought they ate more like glue or something. My mistake. Okay, what the fuck's left? I'm jealous how much. I don't feel like playing Smash today. I mean, I played Smash earlier, but like, I actually don't feel like playing. Watch Torchic be more of a liability than Bulbasaur.
go grab it. It's a Tuesday and it's already kinda late, but I'm like sure, if someone near each other so what's one drink? As I'm getting a little quicker he asks if I can come pick him up, because his car is in the bar he chose is super close to his house, so I'm hesitant but so worried. Roads are not great, it's December and freezing out, but I get over there. First thing was on me. I had been talking to two different guys with the same name. I had them marked with nicknames in my phone as Ryan 1 and Ryan 2. Ryan 1 was there and was already starting to drop off my radar. Ryan 2 was who I was going to go out with. So when I dialed Ryan to tell him I'm outside, take a guess as to which one I called. That was an awkward minute telling a guy I'd never talked to on the phone that I was outside his house. Alright, so that blip aside, I call the correct Ryan, and he comes up. He looks like he didn't put any effort into his appearance, and I'm already starting to wonder if maybe this wasn't worth it. Then he gets in the car and that feeling is confirmed and hard. He fucking reeks of cigarettes with a hint of me. I'm trying not to flinch, because I think maybe it's just me. I had quit smoking 6 months before, so I knew what it was like to not be able to smell what an ashtray I smelled like, but damn. We head over to the bar and he's telling me how much prettier I'm in, how he thinks I'm really funny, and I'm still trying to get past the smell, and how he exhales a lot of air when he talks. Go to order drinks, and he orders shots. For all. 3 to be exact. Apparently 2 are for me, because he already had one at home, and I need to catch up. I tell him I don't really do shots, and I'm driving so have at it. Big mistake. Got there at like 9, and that dude kept us there until closing. The whole time he keeps ordering more drinks, and is getting wasted to the point where I think I should just abandon it, because what the fuck does this? Finally I get him along, and I'm like, okay guy, I gotta work in the morning, how about we call it a night? He says fine. Get back in the car. I drive back to his house as quickly as possible, and as soon as I pop the emergency brake this same dude who really makes me is to the point where I feel like I can't breathe. It's completely clueless to our lack of attraction. Grabs my whole fucking head and his tongue straight down my throat. I gripped his wrists so hard I'm sure that I broke skin trying to back up, and he finally lets go. He backs up, eyes still closed, and goes in. He opens his eyes, smiles and proves me on the nose. I spent the drive home frantically searching for gum in my purse, because holy fuck he tasted disgusting. And when I get there I got one more gift for him. He sent me 3 dick pics with comments like miss you already. Not my story, but my son. I love telling it. Not so much hand to hand. Okay, so, in the days long before me, was on set up a date with a girl who seemed nice enough. The setting was a decently nice restaurant. He shows up, sees her sitting and waiting for their table, and is pleasantly surprised that he wasn't texting. However, he is dressed for the setting, shorts with fishnet stockings underneath, and a tank top. They sit for a while, and talk until the waitress asks them to follow her to their table. The chick stands up, and he's wearing a wolf tail. He thinks it's on, but he's already there. So whatever, right? He starts telling him stories from high school right off the bat. Like, they have to send the waiter away treat because she's too busy prattling on about high school. They were like 22. Suddenly, somewhere in the conversation, he mentioned the stripper. My so is a little taken aback, but being the guy he is, says, oh, that's nice. After dinner, guests that they go back to his place to partake in a little marijuana, and he agreed, only because his room at his home, and he didn't want to shoot her down right there. He was dropped off, so they ride in his car. They get there, and start smoking, and are generally having a good time. All of a sudden she drops, just falls to the ground. My so manages to catch her in a way, where they are now sitting on the ground, her in his lap, yells for his room, is diabetic, thinking maybe he can figure out WTF is wrong with her. Suddenly he hears, snoring. He's asleep. Then warmth spreading all over his lap. She pees on him. He placed her on the couch, They later had to throw her out because of her pee. Waited for her to wake up. Wakes up a couple of hours later and explains she's narcoleptic. Offers her some PJ pants. She called her friend. Took 2 hours to show up. He went to sleep, locked his door, and woke up a couple of times to her trying to get in before she left. He contacted her for another date.
I would have to kill that damn Nidorino. Oh my god. It's beautiful.
Back when I was about 20 years old, I decided to try my hand at online dating. This was at a time when the idea of meeting people over the internet was less commonplace than it is. I managed to connect with a young woman who, at first glance, like she might be a nice companion. She was tall and slender. Came across as being both fiercely intelligent and incredibly witty. He wrote it away. That implied an appreciation of correctness and rationality. Also had impeccable spelling and grammar, for which I had a somewhat unhealthy mind. Even our interests would develop. Just to say,
Seriously?
I was practically sick. The two of us exchanged about a dozen letters, or decided to meet in person, and when it came time for our date, I was feeling more than a little bit excited if I'd known what would happen. So, I would have asked for the check with my name. Me, at first. And we'd already discussed, and that quickly gave way to new topics, one of which was childhood experiences. When things started to go on the rails, I can remember, she told me, going to McDonald's as a kid, ordering a Happy Meal just for the toy. Me too. I replied with a bit of embarrassment. Fortunately, I grew out of that compulsion. My date nodded her agreement. Yeah, I wouldn't even finish the meal. I'd take maybe 3 bites of the burger, leave the fries and the shade, and then tell my mother that I was. I never had a problem finishing my food. I answered. It wasn't the most interesting of conversation, but I was having a good time. Well, I grew out of it. Then my name. I went through basic training when I was 18, and they forced me to always finish my meal. Now I can eat an entire Big Mac without stopping. Rising. Leaning forward. What's your favorite McDonald's burger? Yeah. Now, I like a good burger. I love a good burger. A bacon cheese with fresh, crisp onions and firm tomato slices might be my favorite. But as
This
far
story
as
is
I'm
actually
concerned, McDonald's does not serve burgers. McDonald's sells copious amounts of salt and sugar that have been molded to look vaguely like a meat-based sandwich. I don't really eat at McDonald's, I said, but I do like it. Don't eat at McDonald's. Urgency and the shock of my dates once caught me off guard. Not really, I said again. Not if I have a choice.
The fuck? You hit twice.
For some reason, was the wrong thing to say. And moved on. I was nothing but averted eyes and monosyllabic responses. Each time that I tried to start the conversation back up, I found myself faced with a glare that would have made me do together. Even my attempts at finding out why McDonald's was so important to the girl were entirely fruitless. And by the end of the afternoon, I was worried that I'd somehow claimed to be an artsy. The two of us parted ways immediately after the meal was over, without her so much as saying goodbye. I never heard from the young woman after that. The one ML I sent, which I apologized for offending her, but expressed my bewilderment at how I'd done it, received no response. I've had people say that she was a stealth marketer of some sort, but that just doesn't seem right. Even so, sometimes I do still think of her when I hear that stupid jingle. What a perfect question. Answer for my frustrated comic. Get ready, folks. This story is bizarre. I go to the gym 6 days a week. I've seen this one guy on a handful of occasions, and each time I saw him, he would smile as I walked by. Tall, muscular, just overall really handsome guy. One day, to my surprise, he introduced himself. As I was about to leave, he asked me for my phone, so he could put his number in. Very direct approach, but okay. So I texted him. He was pretty to the point in his replies. Didn't make much conversation before he asked when. Can I see you next? I said either that same day, Wednesday or Saturday. He said, okay, swing by tonight and we will go from there. I figure he means go to his place. then go somewhere to eat after. Normally I wouldn't go meet someone in their place, especially if I don't know them, but again, I thought we would just be using that as a meeting point. Decided to meet 7. Around 6:50 I let him know I'm about to leave, for which he needs to tell me not yet, running a little behind. At this point I'm annoyed, why wouldn't you tell me you were running behind sooner? A bit inconsiderate, but I figured something may have come up. Tells me to meet him at 8 instead. I get there at 8, and he's still not there. I call him, because he had given me the address to the complex, but didn't tell me what building or number. So I call, gives me instructions, and says he will be there in 5. He detail, I had not eaten. It's 2, so I was so hungry and ready to get going. Well, he gets there maybe 15 minutes later. At this point I should have just left, but no. Blinded by his good looks, I guess. Walk into his apartment. It's nice, but smells of weed. Not a problem, I'm just not a smoker. I tell him how hungry I am. He says he is too, and he is going to make us pasta. Nice gesture, but that would take at least 40 minutes. I thought I'd stick it out though. The nose might really get along. Well, this guy would. Just as bland as he was over text. I was starting all the conversation / asking all the questions. I'm a pretty outgoing person, but I just felt so awkward. This guy was not interesting at all, and didn't understand my witty humor either. He proceeds to take a dab of weed. I'm sorry I don't know technical terminology, and tell me he was going to take a shower, and to make myself at home. What the fuck? Okay, I really should have left at this point, but I was so hungry, and he was starting dinner. Doesn't seem so I figured I would eat then. He's a 1 hour I watch Outlander, because I love that show. He finished the news cooking. He proceeds to tell me to pick out a movie. So we watch some trailers. Doesn't really say much. Doesn't make any move either. Just keep in mind it's around 9:30 in this room. So I'm watching a trailer while he cooks in the kitchen. Open concept of small apartment. So I could see lights were off except for the flag. I then look over because I hear no noise and see he is no longer in the kitchen. He must have gone to get something from his car, as the bathroom door was left ajar and all the lights were still off. Well, come 9:45 I'm concerned. Where is this guy? So I call out and say Russell's name here, and he goes I'm in the bathroom. 4:15 minutes, with the lights off and the door ajar, and I didn't even notice the glove or phone in the bathroom. Nothing. Nothing. I get up and see the pasta and shrimp had been cooked, but had to be mixed together. It's almost 10 p.m. at this point. This guy had been sitting on the toilet for 30 minutes. Finally I decide to get my ass out of there. I say hey, so I'm gonna go. And from the bathroom, pulls out here. I'm having stomach problems. Sorry. Boy was in the bathroom for about 30 minutes, and I sat there like an idiot on his couch. I should have packed up a container with something, because I still had not eaten. I have not seen him at the gym since. This was last week, and he never texted me or apologized. If I see him, I'll be sure to ask, so how's your asshole? This international student from my college class had been flirting with me non-stop, and trying to walk with me as much as he could. It wasn't really sweet, it was more invasive, but I'm a shy pushover, so I never said anything, and just basically followed me all over campus until we literally going into my next class with any way he disappeared. A few times he even walked me all the way home despite my constant. Who's of no need to. I'm fine and thanks. Maybe another time. BTW. English was perfect, so it wasn't a language barrier. Anyways, he finally summoned the courage to ask me out, and I thought, why not? At least give the poor guy a chance. Maybe he's more decent outside of school, and in another setting. He set up a day and time, and they come. Supposed to pick me up at 8. Okay, it's 8. So I head downstairs, and oddly enough, just sitting on top of his car, I hesitantly and jokingly asked him, no trouble? And he said, no, I've been here since 4, and it didn't make sense. Keep the car running. In thinking 10 million things. moderately scolded him about why this was on Insta anyway. I still feel bad about it to this day, but how could someone not understand normal privacy and social etiquette? I told him from that point on there were to be no more walks, no more waiting for me after each and every class, and definitely no more showing up or visiting my apartment. He was hurt, it was clear, but I thought he mostly understood the message. A week later I saw him walking around the sidewalk that at my apartment buildings and just shrugged it off. Maybe he was there visiting a friend. But deep down I knew he wasn't, especially since I saw him several more times, all at different places, but all within a certain radius from my apartment. I tried not to think about it, or be concerned, because the semester was almost over, and my lease was about up. I figured I would move out swiftly and quickly, and get away from him forever. But I did. Then a few months passed, and he found me unfathomable. I didn't know he had one. Left me a message the size of the Bible revealing the love he had for me, and how much he missed me. How he forgave me for hurting him, at one horrid day in the parking lot, and how we were meant to be together. The message included all these pictures of animals cuddling, or puppies licking each other, or baby kittens climbing on one another. Then there were several photos of me how that is and put it in a picture with me, of ones I had posted on my profile. I didn't even respond, just blocked him immediately, and also blocked his friend. That I knew of. Thank God several years had passed, and he never contacted me again. Now whenever a guy gives me a bad vibe, I'm not even nice or waste time with pleasantry. They just boldly say I have a boyfriend, and cut off further conversation like that. It makes me feel rude, or like a bad person for not letting down the relationship. But when I'm nicer, when the crazes take advantage, I was too nice to the psychopath. And when someone is so mentally unstable, they take everything literally, and with 100 X's for meaning. Looking back, I had a stalker, and probably should have filed a restraining order. It's amazing how much he grows from college. Well, 5 years later, lol. But damn, that was definitely one I think about every now and then. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. Please leave a like and subscribe. /credit. What made your ex the crazy ex? Where do I even start? When I met her, he seemed like a somewhat normal early 20-something. He liked to party, maybe drank more than she should, seemed a little wild. But hey, what 22-year-old guy wasn't into that sort of thing? But then the crazy started leaking out. Turns out she had been arrested for a drunk in public a few years before we had met. Okay. No big deal. It happens. Oh, wait. No. He's been arrested multiple times for and had an aggravated DUI. Also, this came out after we had gone out for drinks and wildness a few times, when she had driven. But whatever, aimed my license on the line, but I did start driving more when we went out. Little bit down the line, turns out she takes some medication for anxiety. Oh, okay. I mean, whatever. I know a lot of people who take
That's fine. Welcome back.
No, actually, he's on
I'm just
a
listening to
cocktail of
Reddit stories.
anti-anxiety drugs, antidepressants. They like
Taking
all
output
knows
into
what
fall.
else. Oh, and she sells Norcas for her dad.
Yo.
Sell me eats a lot of them, and sells some of them to her junkie friends.
Yo.
Okay, I mean, I'm not
This is
super down
bad.
with that, but I'm
This is
not
actually
really in a
bad.
situation telling her what to do. I expressed my dislike of it, and she said she'd stop. Why was she on all of these drugs, might you ask?
This is
Turns
actually
out she was
bad.
in a horrendous car accident when she was 19 and her mom and another person died right in front of her, and she sustained
Is she in, like,
life-threatening injury,
high school or
including
like
the loss of some
college?
of her organs, including one of her kidneys. She had scars, but had always sidestepped the question, saying something about an operation she had when she was younger. But yeah, she's running on one kidney while eating drugs and drinking like a friend. Great. Just great. Just to say, there were plenty of late-night drunken fights about who knows what in her
So, like, do the
flies off
people,
handle
like,
because, well,
have to
was,
pay for this
for all
semester?
intents
I'm
and
just new.
purposes,
genuinely
Whether it
curious.
was because of the
It's
drugs
like,
or because of whatever demons the car
that'd be messed up when you
created
still
in her
pay.
mind. The final score came when she disappeared from her house one night, back out drunk. I wasn't with her, but her roommate called me, asking if I knew where she was. I told her I hadn't talked to her in a few hours. Tried to call and text her multiple times, but I got nothing. I was worried, but didn't have any recourse. So I went to sleep. I wake up to my doorbell ringing at 9 a.m. It's her.
To be honest, paying $1,000 just to not go to class, you basically wasted $1,000 on nothing.
Was driving her car, and they got stuck, and had to get the car towed. He lived a little bit out in the country, so this kind of made sense. It was a Saturday.
This
so
is
she
like really
wasn't
bad.
going to be able to get her car out of the tow lot until Monday. Well, it is, but okay. Monday morning rolls around. Still doesn't have her car, and asks for a ride to work. No problem. Next day, same thing. Fine. Big deal. Says that she's having some problem getting her car out of the because of something supposed to the engine or something. But hopefully it'll get lined out soon. A week later, after driving her to work and picking her up next day, I'm hanging out at a party and my friend asks if I was going to tell him about their instinct bar. What? My friend worked with a neighbor of the girl's death.
Honestly,
And got him the full story. Turns out
I'm concerned.
blacked out drunk.
Like, I'm actually,
And drove out of her house. Out of bed.
you know, if it's like,
The car into someone's barn.
if it spread to any more countries,
Got
like
arrested
recently.
and spent the night in the drunk tank. Got picked up and dropped off at my house in the morning. Been lying to me for about 2 weeks straight at that point. Just to say, I confronted her about it and broke it off. Finally got around to going to couples therapy. After talking about it forever, it was mostly me pushing us there. She would say she wanted it, so we are both kind of broke. Decide to go to some graduate school. That was like $25 a session. First session, get there, go through introduction, talk about what we want to work on, and then the therapist asks about our fighting, and specifically if there's been any physical stuff. Kind of rush it, and give it a wheel deal sometime soon. Very good, because I sincerely feel like this would be something that will finally allow us to get a leg up on all the garbage. And if nothing else, it will be somewhere that we can talk about stuff in partial, etc. So session is done, and we walk out into the lobby, and I can tell something is wrong. He's charging in front of me, and has that you're gonna hear about something. As soon as we get away from full body language, barely make it out to the or she's screaming at me, her face in red, accusing me of wanting to come to therapy. I know it. I could see how you were leaning.
So, like, animals can get it, right?
Didn't even look at me. I could tell. Immediately I'm just. He's accused me of this when there was absolutely no evidence that this is on a new level. I don't have any way. They nor rationalize what I was doing in a way that may calm her down. Probably and it's good because we were finally doing something that was positive in the step towards something. No, because say, rational people are in good mood when they are doing good things for themselves and taking steps forward. Nothing better. Just gets more and more irate and finally just stops talking or letting me even just keeps repeating it over and over again. At this point I was just so past being able to reading something that what was going on.
I say animals can get it, right?
Associate with our being trying to conjure up the energy to fight me. He takes off, deeply behind, and I'm sitting at a bus stop by myself with traffic going by just shaking my head and smiling. Figured out that she probably got triggered by the question about past abuse and couldn't handle taking responsibility for her abusive behavior. And the whole invention by her of my wanting to be was just throwing a hand grenade in the middle of the entire and it worked. I'll give her credit for that. I became crazy because
Is video? Is this video too loud? I'm genuinely curious, or like, is it fine?
I said, he said, love you. I said it over a
Why is it
text, and he didn't respond. So I waited until the next day, sent a text in the morning. How the party was, and didn't get a response. Didn't think much of it at the time, because I knew he had to work that day, and we had plans to hang out that night.
Oh, I see.
He was supposed to come over to my parents' house to watch movies. My parents went out of town, and I was house sitting for a week. He didn't call or text me he wasn't coming over, and when I called he didn't answer. So at this point, I started freaking out, because he was out drinking the night before, and hadn't heard from him. I sent a text to one of his
Alright.
buddies to ask.
I'm using this as like
His
background
buddy
noise
said he hadn't
because
seen
I don't
him
like playing video
and
games
as
in
he
like
left before my
complete
ex
silence.
I continued to and decided I'd go to his office to make sure he showed up to work that morning. I asked the manager there at the
So that's why I always like
if my ex
try to
had
talk
come
to
into
people
work that morning, and they said
on
he
the phone and
hadn't.
stuff.
I asked if he called off or just didn't show, and they said he didn't. Nor did he answer his phone when they tried to. So I continued to freak out. I explained to her that he was out partying the night before and hadn't responded to me since. I left her my number in case he showed up or called him or something. I then decided to go right by the house he was partying at, which was about a 20-minute drive from where I lived, and another 5 minutes further was his house. I drove past the house, and took him. Could have taken to her. I was in the middle of nowhere because I didn't see his car on the side of the road, like I was imagining I'd drive. And when I got where he's driving, which was a rather long gravel road, I drove down and didn't see his car. Turned around and went
Yeah.
out. I thought long and hard about knocking on his door and asking him. Stayed where he was, but his parents didn't.
Oh, you're using your phone to talk, right? I mean to watch the stream. I mean, if you're not, you can still talk.
At this point, it's probably around midnight, and I have to work at 8 a.m. the next day, so I call it quits and go to sleep, sending out a final text saying that I hope he's okay. When I left to work in the morning, I had no texts or calls to him, so I continued to be worried. At my job, we had to put our cell phones in the office while we were on the clock to make sure people weren't texting or anything on the job. At 1:30, when I got my lunch break, I checked my phone and had a missed call.
I just realized
and a
Moltres can
voicemail
be a
from him.
bitch.
I was utterly shocked. When
I
I
hated
listened to it,
Moltres.
he basically
Like
called
literally,
me
I
a
quit the
crazy
game after Moltres.
psycho-stalker
Like I
for
like
going to his work to
fucking
see
deleted the
if he'd
game
do
after
that.
I lost the
His
Moltres
buddy said
because
he
there was
saw
no
me
way I was
drive
gonna
by
win
the
that,
house he partied
especially with
in
Bulbasaur.
rural Idaho, and cars being so rare out there you notice. And his sister
Bulbasaur
saw
was
me
literally
drive
doing
down their
more harm than
driveway and
good.
turn around.
Cold.
He said his
outside.
work had called him to say I was
There's really
looking for
nothing to
him.
do.
They failed to mention I was worried about him. And the overabundance of messages I sent him was creepy. In total, I had called 3 times, left no voicemails. Obviously a bad idea in
Oh yeah,
hindsight,
true.
and sent 10 texts over a 24-hour period.
Having
He said
roommates
he was
must suck.
taken aback by the love you in the text and just wanted to clear his head for a bit. So he turned off his phone and went to his cousin's house and slept there. Forgot what day it was, so he didn't go into
Because
work.
Bulbasaur is
Forgot his phone was
genuinely
turned off the rest of the day.
trash.
Remembered his
Or at
phone
least with
was off by
Mudkip.
the next morning, when his alarm didn't go off. Saw all my texts and messages and freaked out. When he called his job to apologize for missing his shift,
Moltres is lit,
they told
literally.
him about me showing up.
I'm not hating on
Freaked him out
Moltres.
even more.
I'm
He
hating
told me
that
he could
Bulbasaur
be
couldn't hold his
possessive
weight.
stalker creep, and told me not to ever call or talk to him again. I was pretty upset.
Like
but only
Articuno
sent
like
a
that.
message back that said I was only looking out for him. Arsehole, and never heard from him again. A week later, I found out from one of our mutual friends that a guy at the party had seen the text I sent and was threatening to round my egg. Seems like breaking up with me and denying everything easier than continuing to hide our relation. Moral of the story: don't date positive crazy. When I broke up with my ex a couple years ago, I started having these weird dreams where I could hear consistent sobbing and sniffling. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so it didn't really cause any issue for me, and I would wake up without problems in the morning. This experience went on for
He's a
couple
bull
weeks.
loser. Oh my lord.
Sometimes I would wake up in the middle
Nearly
of the night
ruined
and
his
my
whole
room would
life.
smell like my ex perfume. Not only that, but my sheets looked like they were wet from tears. I asked my family if anything unusual was happening around the house and nobody knew what I was talking about. Sometimes I would get in my car for work in the morning, and it would completely stink like hell. I figured I was just creating sensation. My mind due to a rough recap, like my brain was remembering an imaginary. This continued for weeks, until I decided to spend the night at my buddy's house down the street after drinking. I got a call from my mother whispering something about somebody going through the front door downstairs. I ran down the street with my buddy, busted in the front door, ran upstairs.
Oh yeah, Pokemon with High School, my story I made
and
up.
started telling me
You know that whole evolution thing?
never came back. I later found
Bulbasaur's gonna be picked on in my
she had
story.
made copies of all the keys in my house and car. Would spray her perfume around my face. Keep the feeling for her alive. I haven't seen her since.
But
I
he's gonna be
feel so
friends with the main
that
character,
she's
so it's cool.
continued doing this with other men. Yeah. Dr. Bitches be crazy. Edit. I forgot to include. Over a year later, when I moved out of my home, I found 2 love notes behind my headboard, still stained with teenage tears. He had placed them under my pillow, and probably wondered why I never confronted her about it. I guess I would knock them away as I sailed around in bed restless. Gave me chills as I finally saw how obsessed she was due to the language she used. I'm a lucky man to still be here. I was 17 when I moved with a 24-year-old guy I had been dating for a couple of months. After about
You know, it's one of those
1 to 2
things
months
that
of
like
living
you
together,
really
I
procrastinate
had mostly
on.
lost my chances. Keep in
Yeah.
touch with my family and friends. I couldn't meet anyone without his
I
presence.
feel like it's
once
going
answered
someone
my
else's
cell
hands.
phone
So.
when my mom called to say hi and blabber about something pointless. In the beginning of the phone call, I made the mistake of going out for a smoke. When I had finished the phone call and went back in, I got a good beating for having shit.
Actually, that reminds me.
I didn't have permission even go for a walk or to the grocery store alone. I lived with him for nearly a year. I don't know why I stayed for so long. Maybe I was too scared to leave, embarrassed to admit to my family and friends that I had made a bad decision when I started going out with him. One time he called me to tell me that he had been caught on the highway on speed and having a race with the police. Said he would be getting home from jail the next morning. I instantly called my mother, then would spend the next night with me gathering my shit in the car and taking me back home. I got some super angry and sometimes
My due
maybe
today is
phone
by
calls from
May.
him for the next few weeks,
Oh my
but I never
god.
saw him again. I have had several boyfriends after him, but in those relationships I believe I was the crazy one.
Honestly, to me,
I hope
autocorrect is
this
like
doesn't get all messed up. I'm new.
the best thing ever.
All this
Like I never
so much. Thanks
had
for
trouble
all
with
the
autocorrect,
comments.
unless saying
However, this particular
replacing
relationship is
less.
really
My
not
only
more
problem
than
with
distant
autocorrect is
memory. It
replacing
happened
fucking
over
with
10 years
ducking.
ago. I believe I
But
was
even
the
then, I
crazy
feel like
one.
ducking still
I
like,
cannot
it's
blame
kind of
one
fine.
particular person for my mental problem. I'm not angry or bitter to him. Some of you asked for more dirt, but I can't think of any individual little stories to
Oh my
tell.
god.
Or do
Gotta
I
give
have
it.
the energy? Share the whole story of my adultery. I also don't think anyone would find it very interesting. I'm not a very stable person. Never been. Mostly I have kept my problems to myself and tried my best not to bother other people. I've written this in some other threads, so here comes the copy paste. Late spring 2013. I meet this incredibly beautiful woman at an open air party. Done. Half a lot, and I'm loving it. I've never felt such a deep connection with someone I just met. Anyways, later in the night the atmosphere at the party get tense and some people begin to fight.
Maybe I shouldn't have
Somehow
picked
I
Treecko.
get dragged
I mean,
in the middle of
okay.
it, and by the time I manage to get out, she's gone. Probably ran away scared. I look everywhere.
Where's
I
the
try
dog?
to find out if
So
someone
replace
is
food
alive.
with actually
But
apple.
no one seems to. But just knowing her first name in a city with
Some
1.5
autocorrects be on some
million
bullshit.
inhabitants, I go home sad as fuck, sure to never see her again. Fast forward to the end of August. It's 2 a.m. and I
Damn,
can't sleep.
Rihanna
So
wants
I
me to
decide
die.
go
Oh my
for a run,
god, I'm
because
reporting her
it's
to
the only
police.
thing that calms me when I'm nervous. Halfway into the run, someone called my name. I stopped. I looked back at him. Seated on a bench smiling at me. Tells me she tried everything to find me, but with a little influence. There was nothing to do. I invite her to my place. Except, fast forward to the beginning of December. We spend most of our free time together. Rarely sleeps at her place anymore. And we
The textures
don't
of like
believe how lucky we are to have
the
found
art
each other.
of this
I
game
have
reminds
to
me of
go through a
Chowder,
lot of
where
shit
like
keeping
the
a full-time
textures
job
move
and flying
with the
twice a month
characters.
back home. Help out my family. That isn't always there for me. But the more I get to know her, and the more I feel something is wrong. Never talks about her past and stays her mind seems
Yeah, but is
focused
Torchic gonna be
elsewhere.
good enough to
Often
fight
I wake up
against
at night, and I find her awake,
Moltres?
sitting on the bed with the bedside table
Because
lamp on,
Bulbasaur got
apparently doing nothing. Tells me that she's thinking. Because her head is full of knots, she's trying
I should have
to
picked
untie.
Pikachu, honestly.
One morning she's late for work.
But then again,
She rushes
Pikachu's
out, forgetting to the laptop on. I'm curious and worried.
Oh yeah, you
So
were mad, I
go through
forgot.
her stuff, but I find nothing except for a folder with my name on it. It contains all the pictures we took in these months, some poems and another folder. I open that folder and it's full of videos. The more I see, the less I believe. They are all videos of and they are creepy as fuck.
If you're on like mobile,
I
it is
call
hella
in sick
delay,
at work
so
and I
like
spend the day
the
watching
things you're
those
like
fucking
saying
sick
is like
videos waiting for her to come home.
minutes
Hours later, once she is home, I tell her everything
in the past.
and
That's
ask for
crazy.
explanation. She doesn't know what to say. She gets angrier and angry. I ask her to leave, and she attacks me. With the left side of my face and neck deeply
I don't have any
slashed,
rock
and
type
in a
Pokemon or
wild
ground type
crash
Pokemon in
by
my
a
team
target.
yet.
Then
I have to
she
like
takes her stuff and disappears. I call
actually
the
like
police
recruit them,
and
and it's
tell them
gonna
what
be a
has
pain.
happened. They come over to collect evidence. A couple of days later, they let me know that she has a long history of record store stalking and violent behavior. And in the past, she has been hospitalized twice for mental and behavior disorder. A couple of weeks later, while cleaning my bedroom, I found a knife hidden in the mattress of the bed facing. The girl is nowhere to be found. Never went back to work.
Why are
Her
camps so
roommate
fucking
has not seen
expensive?
her
Oh
since
my
that
god.
day. Oh Christ, I'm too late for a threat I should. Okay, everyone I know, everyone I have ever met knows I am attracted to crazy women, mentally unbalanced, bipolar crazy women. I myself am certified, so it's nice to have someone with a dear or conglus who knows what it's like. However, it ultimately ends in me being. Let's go back to the four crazy, and I hope no one I know reads it. It'll give me away in a heartbeat. Just read. You'll call that outright. I was tortured as a child, so I didn't mean the fact that I was being abused. You've done everything at me to vent out her frustration, and never could understand that. If she could just learn to tell the truth, life would be so much better for her, and dear friends would return. But the ego and the image were too important. Oh, we fucked up the guy. The causing reason at the moment I believe it. Always had a perfect explanation for everything. Hard for your friends to respect you when they see it. Anyway, get back from SF for an audition for American Idol. Bombs like fuck. She quit college and was lying to her family about everything in life. I was moronic enough to think I was the one person she could be open and honest with. I would, but she wasn't. Spent 3 days at my place trying
What'd
to
he say?
unwind. Before she went home, and I said something to try and make her feel. Assaulted me on a very, very personal level. I told her to leave. She told me to go to my room and calm down. Long story short, went out of the room. I took all her shit outside. Told her. Went outside. Came back inside. I told her she wasn't welcome, and she said you wanna talk. I will fucking cut you. Those things kind of escalated. I barred myself in my room until the cops got there, while she tried to chop through my door with a cleaver she pulled out of the kitchen. And when I saw it was when I hightailed. So this was outright the shining level shit. But I tried to play it off like crazy shit happens to everybody, but it doesn't. Because of the previous 3, the one before her, let's call Becky. Knew her 4 years. Had a thing for her, because she was broken. an alcoholic and a true. Died in the wall. This isn't fucking funny, man. Anything that wasn't nailed down level. I have a thing my friends call broken wing bird syndrome. It gets me so much shit. He had been floating in and out of that company relationship, whatever, for a while, and I knew I couldn't keep trying to deal with her being unfaithful. He went to SF, then some Jose, did drugs and tried hooking, got addicted to me, pawned her 3 fucking kids on her, and basically spiraled down, called me out of desperation. When the pimp almost beat her to death, I got her to come to my house, fine enough. We all totally fixed everything together she did with me, and explained everything in detail to her parents. In truth, they deserve. Out of all the I wanted 2 things that night. I told her I had 2 full times. No more drinking, or she had enough. Then just tried it, Jose. And to try and get something. Coming down the field in one method more like a weak knowledge. Broke them. Gulping down an entire ship from my house.
Oh my god, die!
While I
Damn,
took a
what
whiff,
the fuck?
And I told her there were no more chances, and to get out. Went raving mad. Finally, when I told her if she tried to drive instead of sleeping it off in her car, I called the cops for her own good. She chased me out into the country, and in circles with a carving knife she pulled from behind her backseat. Cops showed up, took her away. She tried to apologize and make it better months later, when she found my new number. But I'm not that stupid. Before her would. Let's call her Karen. She changed my life. I proposed. Accepted. We were happy. And I found out there were exactly 3 of my friends
Well,
she didn't fuck on the side.
thank you for coming to stream,
7
though.
a year. I lost nearly all of my furring. And friends
And have a
who
nice
stuck
night.
by their side,
Don't like the
which was
coronavirus
horrendously fucked up. But when I found out with
I should be streaming tomorrow.
I called her names with
Probably gonna be streaming some Smash.
didn't do anything to her, but had a mind. Tell her what she wanted. He broke a wine bottle across the kitchen table and carved up my scalp like a fish. He actually got away to another state. Then there was Kelsey, her real name. Of course, she's either dead or untraceable. She had a lot of problems. Her parents were shit. She had no skill, no education, no self-esteem, and I loved her and wanted to help her more than anything else in the world. She was so masochistic she carved up herself with a knife. Putting down there, it was in and out of mental instinct for a long time. And I finally knew no matter what, I couldn't supporting her anything. It was too much. Even though I loved her, I had to break it off. I waited till she could come home to tell her. Big mistake. She went suicidal homicidal, and I took a straight blade in the car. Hurt like a bitch. Seriously fucked me up. They came and got her, and I held her down until they did. Broke my heart. Even while getting snapped, honorable mention to our call Mallory. He slept with my best friend. Get to be night I met her. Told me for the next day, and it didn't work. You have been enough to never talk to her, so passionate. I went to her house and she started pouring drinks down my throat. Like there was no connection, and obsessive moments of us. Outright crazy, no rational person would ever think or say. For 5 days she kept me front of the stuff, and would have for longer, if I didn't wake up and smell the turbocharged crazy exhaust. First day she declared we were together. Second day she planned our first anniversary. Have to understand she was dead smoking hot. The lap just hit some amazing sense of. So I was so confused. Third day I was in a house she said we were moving in together. Fourth day we were going to get married. Fifth day we were going to name our first daughter Gloria. That didn't. I told her I was going to sober up and leave. That I had had enough. I didn't agree. And don't know what I said to make her think I was okay with any of it. And wanted to leave before any more misunderstandings happened. While I sat in the kitchen, with my head in my hands. Pulled out a gun, a 9mm revolver, aimed it in front of me, told me all about how she was a dead shot brigade, and she had ammo to spare, and had a sheriff once shot her. I didn't care, wasn't intimidated and just looking around at east and left. Told her the right was open. Didn't. 3 o'clock in the morning, that same night, my doorbell rang. I walked over, opened the door with her standing there, her hand behind her back, not looking dead in the eye, and all I thought to say was over. You not gonna fucking shoot me, are you? I talked her down, calmed the situation, sent her home.
My fucking
My ex
die.
crazy
The
exes, but
fuck?
these are just a taste of the ones so crazy they'll kill you. Which really means something. Most people only ever have one. I've had 5 try to kill me. Anyway, it's too late for anyone to kill me. But I saw it, and thought I should score something at you. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. Please leave a like.
Seriously.
/Reddit. What are your crazy ex-girlfriend/boyfriend stories? I posted this before, but it fits this
Please
question
move on
pretty
to
well.
this question.
I think I was around 18 years old. Dating for about 8 months and I broke up with him because my parents were treating me differently and I didn't like it. It was too much strain on both my BF and done. My parents' nice relationship.
Oh my
but
god.
I
Oh my
taking
god.
it. Broke up with him one night, and about a week later he showed up at my parents' house wanting to talk to me. My mom answered the door. I didn't want any part of it, so she told him to go away. He got belligerent and eventually left, so she called the police. Was pulled over and given a warning. Then they let him be. Dad was at work, mom was sister somewhere, and I was playing Mario Party 8 on my Wii iPhone. There was an officer back door and I the glass from his house, and he was there with him trying to talk to me. I didn't want any part of it, so I ignored him. He got mad, shouldered the door, the frame cracked. He
Why did
did
he have
it
like
again,
no?
and
Why
the
would
door
he
burst open. I said, what the fuck are you doing? Grabbed me, and threw me over his shoulder, carried me outside. I figured he was just trying to put me in
kill
the
this
front
damn
seat.
thing, please, man?
But then he popped the trunk of his car with the remote, and I realized what was going to happen. I twisted a little, which surprised him, and he dropped me. Then he put me in a headlock, where I couldn't breathe, and I stopped struggling. Tossed me in
Yo,
the
hit the
trunk,
bitch, oh
and
my
shut
fucking-
him and drove on. At this point, I was doing everything I could
me
to get
angry.
out of the truck. It was a Buchla Sabre, the Model Witch.
Why would you like no
Just got
damn?
away, opened the trunk from the inside, so I started kicking the back of the seat. I eventually got one open enough, my head through to get some air. It was hot, and the temperatures outside were right
Oh,
at
thank God, yes,
95
yes.
degrees, so inside the trunk was about 100. I got my head out, and could finally breathe. He had calmed down a bit, and I knew he just wanted to talk to me.
What the hell?
Really free, but I was able to find him, when he was putting me in the truck.
You know
The
what?
neighbor kids were
You're not even a
outside,
flying type.
and
Why'd
they
you
saw what
shoot?
was happening and ran inside to tell their parents. Parents called me. Police called my mom, and my mom was doing 95 down the highway to get me. XBF rode me an hour and a half away to an old camp we used to go to.
Okay, where the hell
And
did
we
you
talked for a while. Then took me, and of course I said I was hungry. I remember wondering why no one was concerned, and I was waiting for a pizza without shoes knocked on. Because no one said anything, I figured my parents hadn't realized what had happened yet. Little did I know, an Amber Alert had already been issued. Anyways, decided he didn't want to go to jail, so he was going back to his workplace/place of residence to get his shot. When he got there, the cops were waiting for him and tried to chase ahead. They missed him, jumped back in his car, and did a backwards U-turn. He started driving city at speeds of 60 to 85 miles per hour. If you've never been in a high-speed police car, let me tell you, it's a rush. Too much adrenaline. Anyways, he was going to get on the highway. The police had it blocked off with spikes. So he turned onto a back road and dead-ended. He ended up crashing into a tree. I was in the front seat by this time. The cops swarmed the car, pulled us both out,
Oh, we
and
dealt
since they didn't realize who we were, cuffed us both, and put us in separate cop
out.
cars. Once everything was secured, they cuffed me and put me in a police cell, and transported me back to the police station in my city.
Use your gun,
Found out I was okay. The whole ordeal lasted around 10 hours. X got 4 years and is now out of jail in a halfway house. My little brother picked up a real winner a couple years ago. The 60. And it was his first. So I don't blame him for his ignorance. Ori-1. I was 20 at the time, and away at college a couple states away, so I only got to go home a couple times a year. I go home for Christmas one year. Take my brother out snowboarding. He had a blast, except he was acting all weird. Kept checking his phone every few minutes. Apparently he was supposed to hang out with us UGF that morning, because he didn't know I was coming into town a day early. Told her that I got into town early, and he was gonna go hang out with me. Apparently your only brother coming into town for Christmas wasn't a good enough excuse to ditch her. He continued to send harassing/threatening texts all day till I finally took his phone away and pulled the battery. He didn't like it. When we got home that night, in our house, downstairs with the lights off waiting for us, we pretty much dragged him off into his room in one of her little casinos. I could hear her yelling over the TV. I went in and pulled him out of there and told her to go home. She came out a little later and sat down next. While we watched TV, my parents had already passed out, so when he went upstairs to get some ice cream, it was just me. This is my first time really meeting her in person, so I thought I'd break the awkwardness with a simple anything you wanna watch. After a minute of just staring into the face, turned to me and said, I make your brother happier than you ever will. Ori-2. I kick her out, and she threatens, if my brother doesn't come with, he's gonna leave. I tell him go, and I'll see him tomorrow. Long story short, Enid is out of the big family, get together for Christmas, because she wants to spend the time lost with Ori-3. I'm away at college, but heard this one later through my brother. Him and her are driving back to her place separately. He's in a Prius, and right behind him is the brunette truck. He doesn't have a license, and doesn't really even know how to drive apparently because she slides off the gravel road around the corner and rolls her grandma's dream. He doesn't have a license, doesn't have insurance, and doesn't want to take the blame for anything. So guess convinces me he was driving. They park his truck at her house, walk back to the scene, will forever have high insurance rates because of it. Ori-4, probably my favorite one yet. It's 1 year later. I'm back for Christmas. Earlier that winter, my brother finally broke up with her, yet she continued to text him/stalk him every day. If he was at a party, conveniently show up and try to get back together. One night at a party, my brother jokingly told her, no, if you keep showing up like this, I'm gonna have to get a restraining order on you. Didn't take it as a joke. The next day she was in the police station, pulling her eyes out to her dad's buddy about how my brother was the one harassing and stalking her. He got a restraining order on him. He got the notice in the mail and texted her a simple W. The cops came and arrested him 2 days before Christmas. Didn't get a bail hearing until the following Monday, so he missed Christmas again because of her. He ended up in the dryer at my apartment, sex in the middle of the night naked and crying. Yes, read that correctly, and no, I'm not making this up. I wish I would. I found this guy on a cube, and he really was a nice guy, yet a little strange. Good looking too. Dated for about several months, during which time he slowly revealed that he was hearing things, and he couldn't possibly be upstairs neighbor or my roommate were talking shit about him, even though I couldn't hear a thing, and he started to get paranoid. This all came to a climax one night, when we were at a comedy club with some of my friends. He had been acting strange all night and thought my friends hated him, and were talking shit about him from a couple of feet away. I was sitting between them. They had even told me previously that they liked him. Left before the show started, and I didn't see him again until 8 months later. My roommate was getting ready for work one morning. Gets up around 5:30 a.m. He heard strange noises coming from the laundry, which shared a wall with the hallway of our apartment. Thought the loud wailing sounds were from our neighbor's crazy friend, and that she'd have to deal with her. He went to the laundry room to get her bike, but when she went in there she couldn't see anyone and wasn't sure where the sound was coming from. She searched around and was looking under the table across from the washer and dryer when she heard the dryer door being pulled shut. I know. Horror movie shit right there. She was about to open the door. Brave lady that she had thought better of and went to wake up seeking. I work in mental health. For help. I got up and could hear the crying. So I went out to the laundry room and opened the door. At this point, the person who had previously occupied the dryer was lying face down and naked on the linoleum floor. I asked if they were okay, not knowing who it was at that point, and there was no response. I told my roommate to call the police, and while she was on the phone, this person gets up, was actually wearing their radiator sunglasses, and walks past us and into our apartment, sat on one of our chairs, and proceeded to give me a death stare, while my roommate was outside speaking with the cops and her work explaining what was happening. It was in our apartment over the course of an hour while the and later the paramedics checked him out, and he did not say one word. The most he did, make a guttural growling noise, while he gave whoever was speaking a hate-filled stare. Finally the paramedics took him to the hospital and I never saw him again. The car we figured out was parked outside for about 5 days, and one day all he had in his pocket. His clothes were on the floor of the laundry room, so I brought them into his apartment. The boarding pass from around the time he disappeared. Family was from another state, and car keys, and you could see that in the car. Only a bunch of energy drinks and fast food wrappers. Implied he had been up and said other states, about 1-2 days drive. Picking up residents can't drive. My neighbors and I tried to get in touch with his family, but they were unlisted, and the hospital couldn't tell us any information. I wish him well, and hope he's doing better now. My former roommate and neighbors are all reticent, and can verify this story if necessary. I dated a girl for about 2 years, and after the first 6 months the crazy really started to chase. She got suspicious of my every move, overly attacked. If I didn't answer my phone, started calling my friends and eventually started calling my work. That was useful because, well shit, it's my work. Fuck off with that nonsense. Numbers started mysteriously missing out of my contacts the start of the day, and it appeared to be pale name. This came to my attention when my sister texted me. The number wasn't saved. She would go through my phone at night while I was sleeping, only to find nothing, because I wasn't screwing around behind her back. I woke up and caught her twice in her effort to frighten through and crying and freaking out, until I apologized for some dumb reason. The last straw was when, after weeks of arguing about the type of birth control we were gonna use, yes, we actually had to fight about this shit, I found out she was lying to me about it. We got the noodles, and we were having a little afternoon delight and it didn't feel right. I knew before, when she had it, I could do this from time to time, but not today, and I was really hoping my dick hadn't shrunk. I played it off, mainly because at that time, my priority was in what I had started. I walked into the bathroom after, and asked about her noodle. She assured me she was using it. I opened the top drawer and there it was, unopened, and unplugging inserted into her vagina, where it was supposed to be. Deal breaker. Also tried to tell me she had cancer, so I wouldn't break up with her. But strangely, none of her family knew anything about it. Then of course she would tell me she was going to kill herself over and over again anytime we... Oh, and the typical bullshit like waking the up organ. She had a 3-month. The majority of the relationship was the horrible men, and I pity any man that falls into that pit of despair. Had it not been for the captain, I would say the whole relationship was waste. Sit yourself down. I had quite a turn. The girlfriend was a problem drinker, and when I say problem drinker, I mean every time she drank, it was a fucking problem. For some reason, thought she had the liver of a god, and would chug liquor, but I had my back turned. It would lead to her being drunk in about 20 minutes of going ran down the street of some random house, opened their front door, and passed out of their hallway. I went looking for her, and then somebody shouted out a window to me, "Are you okay?" I had a horrific drunk Krasovich up here. He passed out, he's saying your name, and then I went to their home, picked her up off the couch, carried her home. Most people would just break up with the girl at this point, but I thought, if I could keep her off of them, it might work out. Well, you know, when people tell you don't go into a relationship expecting to hinge, give that advice. Please, give that advice. Whenever I wasn't there, took that opportunity to get shit out. You would then do things like call me and break up with her, but then not remember it, because she was blackout drunk. I would remind her, apologize, and then ask for me back, and like a fucking I would always take her back. I eventually got fed up with it, and didn't take her back one time. This led to a full-blown temper tantrum when I went to her apartment, pick up my stuff. She guarded her door, not letting me leave. Eventually I tricked her into getting out of the way by saying that I would consider staying with her. Once I got out of her door, I told her that was a lie, that I just said to get her out of the way, and that I was leaving now. Then grabbed me by the leg. That thing that 5-year-olds do. I asked her to remove herself from me, or I would just continue walking. Keep in mind, this was all unfolding in the hallway of the Manhattan apartment building. I gave her a few more warnings. Remove herself from my body. Did not. So I continued walking, dragging her across the ground with my foot as she hung onto it. Eventually she let go, and I made it out. The next day, I get a call from one of her other guy friends, saying that he's going to come kick my ass. I ask him why. Goes on about how she told him about how I choked her and threw her on the floor. He has the scrapes on her knees to prove it. I told him that if he comes anywhere near my property, I will call the police. Never did. Doesn't surprise me, because he would well know to be one of those kids with a big mouth, but no more. Finally, I go a few days of my life without hearing from the girl. I thought everything was finally over, and it was like being reborn. I go out to a party, meet some girl, and end up sleeping with her. A few days after that, I get a call from Crazy X screaming and crying about how she can't believe that I cheated on her. It's cheating after you break up with me, and I don't get back together with you. No lordy. He then tells her family about this. Start sending me emails and texts about how they can't believe what I've done, and I'm such scumbags. When I found out that I can match phone numbers to a blocked list on my Verizon account. Finally, the calls, the texts, all contact was broken up. At one point she had one of her friends contact me asking for a call, and I told her friend, pass the message along then. If she continues to try and involve herself in my life, I'm going to apply for a restraining order, and that was the end of that. I have two. First one was a girl I've been seeing for a few months. I was 21, she was 24, and had a boy about 2 years old. Was basically normal, had a good job, took care of the kid okay. She was kind of involved, not very bright. I was bored of the relationship but really didn't want to become stepdad to the kid, so I ended it. No problem. Run into her a month or so later at a bar, and we end up going back to her place for a night of exercise. Next morning she makes coffee and breakfast. I go to school. She goes to work. I get incredibly sick on the way to school. Throw up multiple. Make it to school so you can find the nurse/medical officer vaguely record being loaded into an ambulance. Come to in the hospital. A doc tells me I owed on an enormous amount and had about 5 minutes left to live before they figured it out. Oh, by the way, there are some federal agents here to talk to you. Turns out she had planned this whole thing and decided that if she couldn't have me, no one could. She went to jail. It was a reduced sentence depending on the family that was making and distributing the second one. Not as bad. Dated casually for a few weeks. Decided she wasn't for me, so I turned it off. Get a call a week or so later saying I gave her gonorrhea. Go to the doctor, get tested for the thing.
didn't link these two.
It then comes back. It was just revenge for breaking up with her. She was going to tell me she was pregnant. They paid for the abortion, but was walked out of that by her best friend. I would have rather paid the money. I went out of town for my best friend's wedding in which I was a bridesmaid.
I had no
Take my boyfriend
Yo,
at the time
if I-
after requested the bride.
escape.
It is her day, and considering my being and I were on the outs at the time, I was not opposed to it. The lad killer didn't get his best refill before I left town for 4 days. This is his meltdown. Started off okay, text back and forth, but I wouldn't be able to reply as fast because I'm helping with a wedding. He overdosed on Valium and told me he was wandering around outside. Then doesn't answer his phone for 6 hours, in which I panicking all time a 6-hour drive away from my home. And I decay if he's wandered off in his butler state or not. I break down. My best friend Slender X-box it to me and lets me know some options on what I do from far away. Eventually I sent my apartment manager over to him if he had left the house or not. Apparently he had fallen asleep, took so many drugs. All day of a ceremony he flipped out with me, because I don't have time to talk to him at all. The night of the wedding party, we are pushing to get this ceremony on its way. I leave my phone in my bag, while I help the bride and come back to no less
The
than
enemies
10
don't know how to
voicemails and 30 plus text. Half of it is
Attack
only
twice, 'cause that would be
the
the
style typing. Continues the whole weekend. I stop responding. Come home to find my blind store.
So
DVD player smashed. Cooking oil spilled all over my kitchen floor. That he made me clean up, because apparently it was my fault he knocked it over while I wasn't eating. And my entire nail polish collection, over 50 colors. I'm still finding cracked bottles. It's amazing how I haven't died from all those red-colored Kool-Aid splashed everywhere. Even inside kitchen drawers, I don't even know how that happened. Couldn't apologize for any of it. It's only words which made me do it. If you ignored me, this would have never happened. We are no longer together, of course, but this is just one episode of many. This man will be 30 next month. I pity his next girlfriend. Edit. The incident happened last week. So this is the 29-year-old man throwing a temper tantrum. I remember this in hindsight. At 21, I was dating, living with a 20-year-old who had 2 parents who were involved in healthcare. Worked in healthcare. It was her ultimate goal to be a nurse. She studied the vagina, and women's health, even before she was done with her bachelor's. She had been diagnosed with irregular periods aging, before we started dating. She was also on birth control. That didn't stop her from taking a home pregnancy test every time her period was 1 or 2 days off. I once not so joking told her if we had Native American names, hers would be Bonsky. She was obsessed with my name, and her PC wasn't working, and I had knocked her up. She was obsessed with taking a home pregnancy test at least once every month. Name this part is XNW/NSFL. Then 1 month we had a really horrible period where we cost a bunch of money. Any girl who has really bad periods knows that when they pass a bunch of uterine lining during their period, it's pretty nasty. Insisted that she had just miscarried our unborn child. Refused to take a pregnancy test to confirm. Refused to acknowledge the fact that she had a period last month. And if she had miscarried, the zygote would be so tiny she would never know it. Mind you, her parents were both RNs and she read and watched everything about pregnancy, childbirth she could get her hands on. Refused to go to the doctor, get a blood test. Most times when you miscarry there is enough HCG in the blood or urine that a pregnancy test ends up positive still. So this girl who was absolutely obsessed with taking the OP test to the point we would have had stock in it and refused to take a home pregnancy at all. Insisted she had miscarried. So she started calling, told her parents she had miscarried, told all our mutual friends she had miscarried, and then made me mad because I didn't treat it. He even named her period lining a male name, so she knew it would have been a boy, and bought a special miscarriage remembrance necklace vendor online, so she could always wear it and never forget her poor Miss Harry uterine final.
Insane.
My crazy ex-boyfriend told me one day, while we were still dating, that I loved my 10-week-old kid more than him. He asked me that night if he could take him home with him to keep him awake during the ride. I said no, but he took him anyway. The next morning he called to tell me that he woke up late, got out of bed, and accidentally touched him with both feet in his exact words. He was all kinds of crazy, and this may even be the least terrible thing he did in our short time together. I really hate that guy. Edit. Those of you who are asking, here is a response I made to someone with more of the story. Okay, see, I have some concerns, and he may also be a Redditor, but I've already put the story out there. If he sees this, then I guess he's... I won't go into much detail at all, because it is still really hard for me. But let's just say he was also a sexual predator, and I don't believe I was the only victim during the time of our relationship and the short time after. I believe the other was a child. I had no solid proof, but I could finally get the courage to report it. Unfortunately, it was too long. After it occurred, nothing was done in the case, and he was not charged with the other. I was able to break off contact shortly thereafter, so I'm not really sure what happened. But he had confronted my brother about it, and tried to contact my mother. Managed to get him away from me, only after I got a threatening phone call from an unidentified person. Detective I was working with stopped contacting me, and the whole thing just kind of dropped. I never got any real closure on the situation, and the whole thing still haunts me. For those of you who have taken to criticizing or not seeing the red flags, all I can pity you are welcome to go back and take a look at my 8-year-old shoe. See how you deal with a charming sociopath slash psychopath who has everything
Yo, I'm
you know on
stupid.
his side.
I forgot these are my
Very bad
peoples.
time in my life. I only hope you never encounter someone like that. And if you do, maybe you can do it better than I do. I will say, I've learned a lot from my experience, and will never ignore my gut instinct ever again. I hope that this story will help others learn that too. It's incredibly important, and even if you feel silly or mean, listen to what your gut tells you, and don't look back. Edit 2. Thank you guys for all of the supportive comments. They really mean a lot to me, and thanks to whoever gave me the gold. I wish it could have been for something more positive, but either way, it brightened my day. Final edit. For those concerned about my well-being, thank you. This all happened a very long time ago, and I have since married a wonderful man, and have a lovely little family of healthy, happy, safe pets. Thanks for listening to my story, and I hope that maybe it will help at least one person out there. Thank you so much for watching the whole video. Please leave a like and subscribe. r/is credit. Males of Reddit. What? Serious men of Reddit. We hear all about horror stories about how crazy men can be when rejected, but what's been your crazy experience when you rejected a woman? Does after a breakup count? If so, I was graduating from my masters, had a low self-esteem, and my ex was really hinting that she wanted to get married. I didn't, was super clear on that. She broke it off right before I went to visit my parents for about a week. I was a bit bummed out on the way home, and a couple of days after, then she called and said she wanted to talk when I got back. By then, I had the feeling she would want to get back together if we got engaged or married. And that's exactly what happened. When I got back, she acted like everything is fine, and talking about us getting serious. After that we went, sat down and told her it was over. I was pissed. She was suicidal. She even ran to the kitchen and got a knife and threatened to slit her wrists. I pulled the knife away after getting cut myself and locked her in my bathroom where nothing sharp was there, and called a friend of mine to give us a ride so I can leave her at her house. At that point I didn't want to leave her at a camp and act crazy and missing or something. That's not the end of it. It had just begun. Next morning I woke up to 30 texts and 5 missed calls. I decided to ignore them. It escalated to 40 a day and 20 missed calls for about a week. Then notes in my car. Then a friend of hers started coming to my house to talk to me and say what went wrong and apologizing for her. I told her I would not get back together with her. When that didn't happen, she sent 2 friends of hers to beat me up. Luckily my friends were in my apartment and they backed off. Next morning I had 2 slashed tires in my car. Almost missed a job interview. She would stalk me by staying at a cafe across the street from my place for hours, monitoring who came in and who came out and what time. The final straw was when, after about 3 months passed, I had started dating a girl and we went to my apartment to DVD and chill. I got a call about an hour later. It was a friend of mine saying that he got a call from my ex saying that the girl with the brown hair and red blouse, exactly the description, was too ugly for me and she wanted to mess her up. I ended up making her a nice dinner and had a bottle of wine, so I could make time for her to eventually leave her post at the cafe. I ended up changing my car, apartment, cell phone, emails, and after that I haven't heard from her. When I was in high school, this girl had a major crush on me and decided to write me a note one day. She found my picture in the yearbook, but due to a printing error the wrong name was next to my picture.
I wish Can's more easy accessible, because like,
addressed to the wrong yearbook name.
it's already bad enough. I mean, it's already hard enough to rescue these Pokemon.
I honestly, the girl was attractive.
Too fucking
She was weird, but kind of 90s short hair alternative cute. She was 2 grades below me, but I went up and introduced myself, and we became friends. She confided in me one day that she had never kissed anyone, and I said I would show her smooth bite. So we made out for a little while at a friend's house, and things were fun. Then things kinda turned. The next day she asked me out, and I said that I thought we were good friends and I don't think going out is a good idea. Let me stop here and say this is stupid teenage
yeah, I totally forgot.
All of my friends thought she was super weird and kind of made fun of me for kissing her. If they weren't around I might have gone out with her, because I liked her, but I'll let my friends get in my head. After I told her that, she burst into tears, like full-on uncontrollable sobbing at the lunchroom. I felt really bad, because I wasn't a guy who had ever had to turn a girl down. I wasn't some lady's man, and I had been where she was, and I felt terrible. The next
Okay,
few
let's
days
actually
were
like help this guy.
calls begging me to date her, that we were perfect together. I worked at art at the time and she would, I worked crying. Then she called my house when I wasn't home and talked to my mother and my brother and my stepfather. Then she started calling my friends and asking them to convince me. Then one night she showed up at Mart wearing a big overcoat with nothing on under it. She had started getting very overly sexual and sobbing fun, saying she wanted me to take her virginity and just getting super graphic. She wanted me to bang her and work in the parking lot. When I got off, I declined. Then in her calls she was saying she wants to have a family with me, and what our kids would look like, and it was starting to get a little bizarre. I began thinking something is not right about this. Maybe she had mental issues. Her mother eventually got in contact with my mother and asked her why I was harassing her daughter. My mother laughed and jokingly said my son is terrified of your daughter, and told her that she legit called 10 times a night. Apparently she had her mom convinced I was the one going after her. Then one day the calls stopped over the summer. No more random visits at work. It turns out she was having some kind of psychotic breakdown. Had made a shrine to me in her closet with pictures of me from where I have no idea, and articles of my clothes she somehow got. The breaking point was she had been taken advantage of by a much older man when she told him that I didn't like her because she wasn't sexually experienced enough. I was a virgin. So he offered to teach her something. He went away to a hospital and I didn't see her for years. Fast forward shot 3 years and I'm at a club and this group of hot chicks walk into the bar area and there she is with them. And she was fucking gorgeous. I didn't know if I should talk to her because I was the cause of her breakdown. So I just took my beer and sat across the room. She was way out of my league now, and her friends were equally beautiful. She
That's
spots
fucking
me about a half hour
ridiculous.
after walking in
That's
and
absolutely
makes her way
ridiculous.
over to me. She is totally nice.
And you
when
fucking
we
died
get
after
to
that?
talk,
Okay.
we
How'd you
talked
die?
for a
Okay.
while, and she tells me she went to live with an uncle in New York. When she got out of the hospital,
Whole revirus
her
you
uncle
wasted
worked as
because
an
someone was
assistant to some famous
someone was the
photographer,
fucking-
and he discovered her, and she started working as a model while living in New York City and going to school. Her friends were also models, and they were her roommates.
How does that
and
do
had
dirty
come with her to
moves?
meet her family on
Broken.
vacation. Turns out she ended up much better off than I did. I still talk to her on FB from time to time. She is now mom with
That
2
sounds
kids
like
and a
I
cool
actually-
little family, and she's still amazing looking. In my sophomore
Yo, I'm not
year of
pressing-
college,
okay.
There was a girl I ran into from time to time. School with 3,000
I know.
students. Every time we ran into each other, we'd exchange casual greetings
Well, I can actually recruit
and
you.
go our separate ways. A mutual friend told me to be careful because she was really into me. I actually laughed it off because we never had an actual conversation, and I didn't even know her last name. Big mistake. One night, she
Hey,
showed
hey,
up on my
hey,
doorstep,
shut up, shut up
drunk and
real quick.
wearing a short dress, and pounds on the front door
I'm trying to
until
recruit
my
this
housemate goes and wakes me up. I was half asleep, and she asks me to walk her back to her door. I
Yeah.
protest, but she insists that she doesn't feel safe and needs me to escort her. I groggily walk her back to the other side of campus, and when we get to her room, she darts in, tells her roommate to leave, and invites me inside. I politely refuse, and she gets more aggressive and insistent. I leave the door and start heading back when she catches up to me and says she will escort me back to my place. Most of the trip was awkward silence, but towards the end, starts complaining about how cold it is. At this point, I'm mostly awake and really annoyed, so I tell her she's acting crazy and needs to go to bed. She didn't like that. It triggered something in her, and I took a flailing punch to the face, followed by scratching of my cheeks, neck, and chest. She was a small girl, and after the initial shock, it was pretty easy to catch her wrists and restrain her. I asked her what she was doing, and she just laughed. I let her go, walked quickly to my front door, and as I was closing it, I heard her asking if I was going to invite her in. After I closed my door, she stood out there for a good 5 minutes before leaving. My housemates were stunned when they saw the scratch marks. It looked like a cat had attacked me, especially around the neck area. There was bleeding, and a piece of torn skin dangling. It was such a surprise attack. It didn't hurt, and she actually did it. I cleaned my wounds and went to bed. I honestly don't know what to make of it to this
Hella
day.
pressure berries
I've
for
never
no
met
reason.
anyone like her since.
But then again, in this game,
She was
poison is
overly
actually.
cheery, kind of a princess type, not used to being told no. We'll call her princess. So at a college party at my buddy's apartment, she was coming on to me. I was not interested in her. I was much more interested in another girl who was discussing the merits of how taxation is a form of theft with a circle of people playing cards. We'll call her Porcupine. Well, after trying to ignore Princess for 25 minutes, Princess decided I was playing hard to get. She accidentally spills her drink on me and offers to help me dry off. I decline and ask my buddy if I can go grab a shirt from his room. I go into his room to grab a shirt, and I guess she followed me because she wraps her hands around me from behind and started feeling me up. I slipped out and told her to get away from me, but she wasn't having it and blocked the door. She then said if I tried to push past her, she'd tell everyone I attacked her, and who were they going to believe? This is the scenario every guy fucking dreads. Because she's right. If
Oh
she
my
claimed
God,
I
hit the
attacked her,
damn
there is
bitch.
No way in hell they'd believe me, native.
And
Introverted,
dead.
computer major guy over pretty popular social butterfly half my size girl. Thankfully Porcupine had come looking for me as it was my turn. And what the fuck was
Torture, you don't
taking me
fucking
so
believe.
long to change a shirt? She overheard and told Princess to get the fuck out of the room. Begrudgingly she done. but it's the only time a girl tried to coerce me like that, and now we enter Tiff territory. I, believing Porcupine was looking for me for more than cards. Thank you, alcohol and impaired judgment. Make a move on Porcupine. Porcupine plays for the other team. I make a complete ass out of myself in front of her. Thankfully she took it well, politely rejected me, and told me her girlfriend would be very upset with her. He went back to
Miss.
playing cards
Oh my
and
God.
my face was red as a Coke can. There was this girl, you'll call her Stacy, at work who secretly had a crush on me 2 years before I found out, and she was fired. I guess everything that I'm about to type out here happened because of 2 factors. I was able to take my lunch break early, putting her on my lunch break at the same time, and my girlfriend wanted to have lunch with me at work. I guess Stacy and I talking regularly almost every day is another factor as well. As I was walking to my car, go home, Stacy approached me from behind and asked who was that woman with you lunch. When
Check out
I
the
explained it
original
was my girlfriend, Stacy started making a huge deal about my GF being Asian, which was strange, because Stacy is the exact same type of Asian, Vietnamese. Explaining that to her did seem to smooth anything over. Feeling confused and seeing no way recover the conversation, I stated I had to get home and left. The next day Stacy was not there, which was nice, because she made the previous day awkward, and I had no clue why at that point. The next week Stacy was still not back. One of her team members, Tammy, decided to ask me why Stacy needed to take such a long break. This question threw me off guard
Oh, hell no.
and confused me even more, but I answered with, why
Wake
would
up.
I know anything about that?
Someone
Stacy and
save
I
me.
only talk at work. I don't even have her number.
Someone please
At
save
this
me.
point it was hard to tell who was more confused, Tammy or me. I could literally
God.
see the gears turning in Tammy's head as she was trying to formulate her next question. Eventually it comes out, I thought you and Stacy
Why do
were
I-
going
oh my
out.
God.
She tells us about all the amazing dates you go
You
on all
do
the
it.
time. Tammy then proceeded to tell me about some of these dates. These were all dates that I had taken my GF on and told Stacy about. My mouth and throat were completely
Oh, that's my
dry.
teammate.
I felt
so
like
scared.
throwing up. Stacy had constructed a life with doing things with her that I do with my actual GF, and then presented this to her team. I told Tammy that I do in fact have a GF, and that Stacy is not her. I pulled out my phone and showed Tammy pictures of my GF and I together. While my GF and Stacy share similar heights
Yo,
and
how much
builds,
HP do
my
you have?
GF is porcelain white and Stacy is dark. There are other differences, but those are the ones that would be immediately
It's
noticed.
like 8 other people there. You better
Tammy
kill
was
that thing.
probably more confused than I was at that moment, and seemed to slink away back to her team. Stacy showed up the following week, and refused to make eye contact with me when walking into the building, which was preferable at that time anyway.
Yeah,
About
why
an
did
hour
that thing
later,
take
she was
years to
escorted out
actually
of the
go?
building by my boss, the head of security. Stacy was clearly pissed off. Apparently, Tammy confronted Stacy about her fantasies before Stacy could even get to her desk. Stacy had a meltdown and attacked Tammy.
Oh my
I have no
lord.
clue why Stacy was obsessed with me and the way she was. Stacy is extremely attractive and fit, and during that time I was a
Okay, Sunflower, you're doing the most. You're doing
275
the
to
most.
310 pound blob. Stacy was making
Why are
around
you still
75K
alive?
a year, and I'm a security guard barely making 40K. I'm also into really nerdy stuff that I know Stacy has a dislike for,
Oh, Lord.
like MTG, Boredom of 40K, and more. But I guess you can't try and fit crazy into a box. Anyway, this all concluded 6 months ago, and Stacy has basically dropped off the face of the earth. Kinda weird one. I had an interesting start in freshman year of college. I was pretty lonely overall, so I made it my goal to talk to 5 people each day. Just random people out and about, and boy did I suffer for this. I met a girl who was gorgeous, like way out of my league, like I'm playing T-ball, and she is in Major League. Anyway, she is awesome and we start chatting, and I get a number. Then she starts seducing me. Funny, it worked. It worked really well.
I just realized I
She
have
was
like no one on my team.
I'll let you use my second car, 24/7,
I mean,
no car at the time,
that
that's
was,
awesome. You can live with me. I can
Because this
leave my
boss battle
shitty
has like
door.
8 people in.
Fuck yeah. I remember when we started talking about sex, she got really weird. She wanted me to have sex like 24/7. and I was immediately thrown off like, oh okay, this is some joke clearly. You can stop now. I'm embarrassed enough. But she kept talking about different weird things. They were also awesome, but just how soon we met, how forthcoming. Everything was just off. In the middle of our talk about sex, she sends a message saying I miss my mom and sister. What? Apparently she lost her mom and sister in a car accident like a month earlier. Rough news, right? Here it is. Especially hearing that when you're an hour into a sexual conversation. We started bringing this stuff up more. Like we can do each other's hair like me. My sister used to. At this point I try to be nice like, oh yes, that sounds fun.
Ooh, is that
I'd be happy to make you
Teddy
remember
Russell?
your sister. Then she starts saying stuff about kids. Yes, kids. Like, our kids. We had talked for like a week, so this was like a no-no for me. Especially after she talked about all the sexual things we do,
Please be
including
Safari.
me not having to wear a condom. Might seem
Really?
like now.
Why aren't you
So
Safari?
sorry, but surely I kinda just dropped the ball on how I wasn't interested. Because of recent and possibly longer past events, this girl was a little pie show. I couldn't entirely blame her, because she had gone through some shit. But I'll tell you, I didn't expect her to blackmail me with pictures of my penis. This girl sent me back a pic of my dick I sent over Snapchat. Yeah, I know. It's weird and shit, but shit dude, she fucking asked for it over and over, so eventually it just sent. But she sends
Come on,
it to
kill
me
the
with
damn.
text,
Okay.
"Don't want this to fall into anyone's hands, do you?" At the time I was a new freshman at a big school, where things like frats and shit were important. Or at least my freshman
Leave the
grade
Teddy Ursa
thought so.
alone.
At this said school they are
She
pretty
just got
big
here.
and whatnot, but this girl straight couldn't take rejection. He ended up mass messaging me daily with little threats, and then little things to seduce me. It would go from I'll send a pic of your face and a pic of your dick to your family, and to your teachers. If you stay with me, I'll take you on a vacation.
I
to
didn't
Melbourne,
fucking
Australia.
move.
TLDR. Girl seemed
Yo,
nice. Turned
someone,
out crazy
please,
from
come
past
on.
traumatic events. Tried to seduce me with money. Almost worked. Got creepy. Tried to blackmail me with pics of my penis. Started talking to a girl on a dating site one Sunday just over a year back. She seemed perfect, stunning, intelligent, chatty and
Okay, I
interesting.
got you.
We met a few days later on Wednesday night, in her hometown. The next town over, maybe a half-hour train ride or so. Wow. Blown away. She was incredible in person,
You
and she
signal
was
being.
really into me too. We talk about
And
when
you're
we
still
are
not
next
dead?
free to
Okay.
hang out. Turns out we are both free
Okay, fuck off.
Thursday, the
No, I'm not
night
dealing with
after.
you.
We've had so much fun we decide we may as well. Then proceed to hang out Friday night too, and she stays over at my
Of course.
place. It feels so comfortable and natural, and I can't believe my luck. Saturday, she dashes off to work in the morning. After she's left, I get a series of text messages questioning me about one of my best friends, another girl who I've known for
What are
around
the
15
odds?
years.
Oh my fucking
Very
god.
platonic. I'm estranged from my family and have been well over a decade. My friend is like a surrogate sister to me. I explained this to my date, and after arguing against her paranoia, he seems to accept it. The following day, she calls me. She's distraught and upset, and it's her job getting her down. She feels she isn't being respected and is being taken advantage of. She's already mentioned some of this to me, and she's already told me about her plans to look elsewhere. I remind her of this, and explain that despite us only meeting recently, I'll do what I can to help with that. She angrily tells me she doesn't want my help or advice and hangs up. I try calling back, no answer. She eventually
is that?
messages me
It's a
later
corfish.
apologizing for the outburst, and tells me she was
You gotta be
also
fucking
upset
joking. I'm
as
sick
she
of these damn
doesn't know
traps,
what
stupid
my
ass
intentions
traps.
are due to having a close friendship with a different girl. I tell her she needs to let go of this.
Is that his
and
whole
assure
site there?
her
I wasn't here
that I'm
before.
very much into her. Decide to hang out Monday night. She comes over to mine again, and we order takeaway. Whilst waiting for the delivery, she casually drops in a bunch of racist slurs about the delivery guy. I was a little blindsided, and tell her I'm not really cool with that. She gets upset. She reasons that all her family say these things, so it's okay, right? I tell her it isn't. We enjoy a lovely frosty evening together, and she eventually expresses to me
I
that she
honestly just
doesn't
walked it off.
appreciate being treated like a child, and told what she can't say. Decided to sleep separate that night.
Can you
and
die?
see where
What?
we go in the morning. Whilst in work Tuesday, I receive a torrent of messages telling me how upset she is about things, and that she's sorry for what she said, and that she's definitely not racist,
Oh, thank God.
and that she really wants to see me again.
It's
I
not
ask
Corpus,
her
it's
when
Paris.
she's free, and she's still in town and free tonight, Tuesday night. She comes over again. She explains she has an important appraisal meeting in work the following day, and she has to be in bed early, and up early. I'll let her know that I'm actually doing a late shift in work, so won't be getting up until at least a couple hours after she has. She's fine with that. We have a nice evening together, and things seem right again. Although having disagreements like this less than a week after meeting her is ringing alarm bells. Wake up early Wednesday morning. She gets out of bed to get ready and go, and I let her know I'm staying in bed as I don't have to be up for a few hours yet. She eventually leaves. I go back to sleep. When I wake again, I message her to find out how the meeting went in work. She tells me it went awful.
Okay.
She's been crying.
Hopefully
in
I
the
can
bathroom
body
all morning,
this
and
boss
not
real
to
quick.
bother messaging
Because
her
of the
anymore,
amount of people I
because
have.
I clearly don't care, as I didn't see her out of the door like a real man this morning, and B, didn't message her sooner. Find out what was going on. I'm stunned. This is the 4th time in a week since meeting that we've argued. She berates me for not giving a shit about her, and I bring up how on Sunday, when she called me, she berated me exactly for giving a shit, so I don't really know what to do. We argued by text all day whilst in work, and this proceeds into the night. She brings up my friend again, and her paranoia is on overdrive. She tries to tell me that she's a good-natured person and I've brought out the worst in her, and she hates acting like she is. She tells me she was considering into my town to make things easier for us. She tells me that she's never met anyone like me before, and that she truly believes in a romantic fairy tale future. She tells me I'm not innocent, and that I've caused her trouble, inconvenience, and pain. All kinds of babbling contradictions and accusations. I've known her approximately 10 days, 7 in
Oh,
person.
thank God.
I tell her
Stupid.
maybe we should just cool off a little, step back, be asses, and give each other a couple of days. She responds by telling me I'm cruel.
Okay, we can't afford to be in this
thing.
thing.
No wonder I'm estranged from my family, because why? Anyone want to know me? Now, I'm largely over the family stuff. It's been difficult at times, but I have a support network of some really excellent friends. I have, however, never had someone take that piece of information that I'd shared with her in good faith and use it against me to try and put me down. No man at her. I told her right at that moment, you're done. She wasn't though.
I'm not saying
I must have received around 80 to 90 messages for the remainder of Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday, telling me she was sorry, that we are both victims, and that we are both responsible for falling out, telling me to give her another chance, instructing me to respond as it's my last chance at happiness with her, telling me that I owe it to her. I eventually
Shouldn't he be the one
kept
missing?
and asked her to please leave me alone. Around 80 or 90 more messages. I again ask her to leave me alone, and then block her. Peace. A couple of weeks later, back on the dating site. Let's try again. It takes all of about 10 minutes of me being online for me to receive messages from her. She's there. She's spotted me, and looking like a heat-seeking missile. She's extremely sorry. She's been dealing with hardship and stress and wrongfully taken it out on me. She's looked at what she said and how she's acting, and understands
Yeah, why does
how
Lick
awful
did
she
like
was.
30%?
She still insists that I should shoulder some of the blame. No reason given as to why though. She's asking for another chance. I ask her to please let me have some time to think on it, and I'll get back to her.
Cushiano,
She
you're
isn't happy
actually a
with
goat.
this, because it's a simple yes or no, and I shouldn't mess her about. I express again, please leave me alone for now, and I'll get back to you. Stop with the pressure and the angst. She doesn't relent. She's desperate for her answer now. Again, she feels she's owed it. So I tell her no. When does she fucking blow up? A tirade of messages through the dating app. And so, locked on that too. A letter comes, around a month later. Before I've even opened it, I see the address on the envelope has been handwritten by someone unprofessional. I see the postmark is from her hometown. and the weight and thickness tells me there's a novel in there. I get a sinking feeling. I open it to find a 5-6 page A4 letter telling me once again to give her a chance. It's all very woe is me, and she does that peculiar thing again where she flatters me, but also insists I'm to blame. The end of the letter has her number, and to contact her if I've changed my mind. She also says that if I don't respond, then she'll accept it and move on. I don't respond. It's done, as far as I'm concerned. A couple of months later still, a text out of the blue from a number 1 don't have saved. Hey, it's name. Just thought you'd like to know. I got a new job and I moved to town now. I live on the street just next to yours, by coincidence. Let me know if you want to hang out. I kept all my windows and doors locked, and curtains drawn, for about 3 months after that. I haven't heard anything since though, thankfully. I think it's over. I'll do my best to remember the details of this relationship I had from age of 18 to 22. But I'm 30 now. Memories can get fuzzy. Here goes. I met a beautiful girl who had migrated here with her family from the Philippines about a year or 2 before we met. I instantly liked her. She was super nice, attractive, and we had a lot in common. But honestly, the reason I thought these things is I didn't know any better. After a year of dating her with very minor arguments or disputes, we moved together, and that's when the serious trouble started. Would fight over the dumbest things and she would just take it to a level that wasn't even close to appropriate. It became more and more common, and my resentment toward her grew and grew. She would even get physical, spew hateful things at me, make me feel like shit. Then in the end, would reel me in with tears and apologies, and we'd continue on with our life together. It got more frequent, however, and the severity increased. We broke up a few times, but she would basically stalk me until she could convince me to get back together with her. I think I was just used to it, and I did believe I had to help take care of her. She had threatened suicide multiple times, physically attacked me with weapons including knives. Cops called on her. She's been to the mental hospital for her threats of suicide. She lied to me about being pregnant. She lied about being on the pill, and actually got pregnant, but lost the baby at 5 months. Neglected to tell me that she had a child in the Philippines. The stalking when we break up was terrible, because she tried multiple tactics to get to me. Visiting where I lived, sending her friends over to tell me I need to talk to her for closure, saying she was pregnant, going to my work, and flirting with coworkers and customers trying to get my attention. Oh man, there was more, but I'm getting tired of thinking of all the crap she pulled. In the end, I realized that I didn't have the ability to stay broken up from her for forever if she was so persistent. I still feel terrible about what I did next, but at the time I was just so tired of everything. I had been denying going out with a cute girl from work who made it clear she was into me. One night I just said, well, let's go out. We ended up sleeping together. I didn't go home to her, didn't answer her texts asking where I was, and didn't answer her calls. I broke up with her the next day, and my ex eventually found out who she was and called her and harassed her, constantly saying terrible things. And after talking to her one last time, she left me alone for good. My misdeed had created a rift she couldn't get over and left me alone.
Pretty
And
sure
I
I have
have
a
hardly heard from her
home but
since.
we'll see.
While I don't recommend going through this for
Get the
anyone,
fuck
I
out.
do hope someone reading this can learn from my mistakes. Recognize the signs early and stand
Eating
up
my
for
shit.
yourself instead of losing worth
Eat
and
the
getting
bitch.
beaten down.
Oh, now
Even
you
if
know
you
what I'm talking
feel
about.
like it's you two against the world, realize that you are worth better and that there are tons of fish in the sea. And if you're reading this and thinking this can only happen to someone who has low self-esteem already, you're wrong. It sneaks up if you're not careful. I was varsity baseball, golf, had lots of friends, and did well in school. Great family support. Just be sure to leave that person who is good for you behind you, and don't look back. Maybe get a Bumble account and see what's out there. IDK, but good luck everyone, and I hope you find your special someone who treats
What?
you right.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. /Reddit. What was the most fucked up thing your ex did after you broke up? Tried to kill himself. Together for 5 years. Engaged for 3. Nothing
Let's
like
switch it
sitting
to-
at work on your second day. You get a phone call from the state hospital saying that Arslan hospital. Finally snapped. What happened? This woman, Mary I worked with, was always pleasant and cheerful. Said hello in the lunchroom, and was generally liked. She worked in finance in special projects. She said she wanted to retire in a few years, and she had been working there for 15 years. Her boss started pressuring her to complete our annual budget faster. This thing is huge and comprehensive and a figurative beast. Mary told the boss it would be ready in a couple of weeks. The usual schedule. The boss said that it needed to be completed within 1 week. The higher-ups. Mary said it wasn't possible. Boss emailed Mary plus CC a bunch of
I didn't
coworkers
fucking
and the
face that
assistant
way,
managers, calling Mary out for a poor work ethic and for making the department look bad. Mary said it wasn't possible and didn't appreciate being bullied. She put in her notice. Retire by the end of the week, leaving her boss high and dry. The only one who could do the budget report in a timely manner, so the department was double-frigged. Good for her. Wait, did Mary reply all on the
Let me get on them
email
on
to
that.
say she didn't appreciate being bullied? Because that would be pretty epic. I sent an email to my boss saying I was non-compliant in my paperwork, and that they were delaying my start date for
What is
2
Magma
weeks.
even doing?
I was pretty irritated, because I had moved countries for the
Damn,
job.
Stanley's
The paperwork in question had been sent within an hour of receiving it, a month prior, before I moved overseas. So I forwarded it to all of the hour people that I had been communicating with, and
Yo,
my
where are these
boss.
people coming
I addressed
from?
it to the one
They
who
wasn't here like a
reported me
second
and
ago.
all said, "Will you report me to my new manager and label me as non-compliant? Maybe you should check your inbox more often." Paperwork was done a month ago. Shame and shame people into taking responsibility when they act all high and mighty. There was no reason for Mary's boss. But that way, good for her for standing up for herself. Just because people outrank you doesn't mean we aren't all people who deserve equal respect. Assistant manager, and was known for being soft-spoken. At a manager meeting, one of the general managers was known for being a total jackass to everyone.
I would love a
Was
Far
going
Crash
off
right
on
now.
how every store should be run. Well,
Before I restarted the
she
game, those
snapped.
are actually
Have
pretty
the
decent
highest
Pokemon.
turnover rate out of any store in the district. You can't keep employees for more than 6 months, or they just quit, all saying you were the problem. Maybe you should take that advice you're giving us, and use it on yourself. But I fantasize about saying something like this to my boss every damn day. I worked at Goodwill for a while, but I was younger. I was a job coach for high-functioning autistic adults. A regional manager came to our store one day to make adjustments. One of the adults I was a job coach for had trichophagia, their eating disorder. So she had a big bald spot that she would cover with a clip-on pink hair lock. This regional decided to tell her that she needed to go home and dye her hair to a natural color because she was breaking the company dress code. Started crying, and I told her, "Don't worry, I will handle this." I explained to him the situation, and he had no sympathy. My store manager at the time got involved and taught him a new one. Reminded him of statement providing job opportunities to individuals with special needs, and that he used to chain smoke it's on company time, and that climbing the corporate ladder for Goodwill Industries was nothing to be proud of. Ended it with, "Your name is Jared." That's not even a real name. We had time cards at the time, and we let the girl go home and clocked her out at the end of her shift. My best friend had lost his mom. Murder of